Welcome back, fake football managers, and what a crazy week of fake football we had.
That's crazy!
Week 3 brought quite a shakeup in the standings, and the biggest news on the table is that the once thought untouchable behemoth, Super Duper Wacky Razzles, was taken down. The Dark Side Grey Wolves better send flowers to Taylor Swift for getting those Chiefs back in line. Seems like all the 0-2 teams got it together and got themselves some wins. Oh wait, I mean all but one of them. I actually feel really bad for you. Hopefully you can get it together and your team can figure it out.
Oh, did you know I don't give a shit?
The Week 3 matchups, much like Week 2, were not very competitive. All the winners pretty much just gave the other person a beatdown. The biggest beatdown of this week came in the form of the South Park Cows kicking the literal crap out of the motherfucking Tumbles. Motherfucking Tumbles wanted to get that first win on the table, and very quickly we understood it was not gonna happen this week.
Le who? The her.
Tumbles really only got production out of Jamar Chase, George Kittle, and the Cleveland Brown defense. To be fair, Russell Wilson did a fair job, but you left Waddle in. I don't think he played. Wilson is going to be almost useless without a real quarterback, and Jamar Gibbs just isn't getting enough touches right now.
Touché.
As for the South Park Cows, even though he started Dak Prescott, he was able to put up 177 points. Like, Dak Prescott only got him 15, and James Cook, his running back, only got him 12, but then everybody else came to work. Metcalf with 20, Cooper with 27. I think he got mad that I told him he wasn't in the league. Okay, Amari, we know you're here. Stop doing that, okay? Definitely don't do that if we play each other. Justin Jefferson, I think, is the most consistent guy in football. Yeah, look at that, 27, 27, 30. Okay, yeah, thanks, buddy. And then just to kick a guy when he's down, the Bills defense dropped 36, and the Indianapolis kicker had 24. When the kicker drops 24 on you, it's gonna be a bad day.
Hey, boo, how's your day? Mwah. Late for work. Why don't you sit on the couch and paint me?
Good job, Dave. I feel like after you had to play a real quality team like the Polkai Panthers, it really jump-started you guys, so congratulations on the win. And Tumbles, have some dignity. Let's get a win here, huh?
Just get better.
And then the next biggest beatdown of the week came in the form of Hostile beating the crap out of the shitty Polkai Panthers. Whoa, wait, hold on a second. Wait a second. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this, but let's just do the review. I'm just gonna do the review. I mean, it's pretty clear that this team that's labeled Polkai Panthers did not really show up this week at all. Justin Fields with 11 was basically a thank God that he ended up with 11. He was so terribly awful.
That sounds awful.
They didn't really use Bijan that much on Sunday. I mean, Atlanta sucks. They were getting their ass kicked. They're not gonna run the ball that much when that happens. I'm gonna have that problem a lot this year, probably. Amon-Ra, always solid. Michael Pittman, maybe the best floor in the game. But then T. Higgins did nothing. Mark Andrews didn't do what he was supposed to. Eagles defense had a really good game, 21 points, can't beat that. And my kicker did fine. Really just got hurt by the top end of my roster.
I'm very disappointed in you.
For Hostile, though, he only really had 2 guys that, went off. Everybody else just showed up. Hurts with 21, that's good. ETN had 17, that was his projection. Deebo Samuel had a pretty big game. Kenneth Walker, really big game. 29 points. Wow. And then he picked up Laporta off of waivers, and he dropped 22 on my ass right away. That might be the best pickup off of waivers at the moment. That kid's doing really, really good.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
If I knew it was a week where your kicker's scoring 18 on me, I might not have even looked. And you did this all without Eckler out there, so your team could be pretty dangerous. But you took out probably the greatest fantasy football team in history. That makes you now the #1 target of the league.
What do you want to do, huh? What do you want to do?
All right, next up, we have the Seminoles, our undefeated #1 team in the league now. Seminoles, trying to attain his old glory. The Seminoles took out the Austin, Texas G-Dog Warriors beat him by 54 points. That looks like the old school Bobby Bowden late 90s Seminoles.
Oh, snap.
The G-Dog Warriors couldn't hold up to the Seminoles this week. Trevor Lawrence is really taking a shit for you. And if Trevor Lawrence is taking a shit for you, that means Calvin Ridley is doing it too. I think eventually that's going to work out for you, but it did not work out this week. McCaffrey's always solid for you. Swift had a good game. Myers had a good game. Honestly, everyone on your team had an okay game, just that quarterback-receiver combo completely letting you down. If Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a decent game, it's going to be really hard for you to ever win.
Help me help you.
And the Herbert-Keenan Allen connection that the Knowles have going on is out of bounds right now. With Mike Williams basically gone for the rest of the season, it's going to be the Keenan Allen show. He dropped 51 points in this league. We might have to pray for some sort of injury just to make sure that the Seminoles don't keep going like this. Obviously, the Chargers are a team that completely can take a shit at the end of the season. We know what happens to the Chargers when it starts to get cold outside. Derrick Henry not doing shit for you is a little concerning though, but you got the win, so who cares? AJ Brown showing up for you feels good. That Puka Nacua didn't have a great game, but obviously a really good pickup. Damn, your kicker got 19 too. See, again, when you're playing a guy that has a kicker that puts up 18, 19, 20, whatever that is, it's over. You're done. Just give up.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Next up, we have the formerly unbeaten Super Duper Wacky Razzles taking a 22-point beat down from the dark side Grey Wolf. Hey, I guess you only needed one wolf. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I actually have no idea how Wacky Razzle lost when Miami put up 70 points and he had the Tua Tyreek Hill combo.
That don't make sense.
Not that 38 points and 33 points are to scoff at, but they had 2 or 3 other players that had huge days, like Raheem Mostert on the other side. Also another guy that seemed to be very upset that I made fun of him on last week's manager's message. Other than Tua and Tyreek though, the Wacky Razzles team really didn't show up. Tony Pollard had an okay game, but CeeDee Lamb with 9 is a big disappointment. Pickens 11, whatever. Fairmouth with 13, I guess that's actually pretty good for him. But the Cowboys with -1. Basically, if anyone you played, it would have been better if you just left the spot open. That usually is a pretty good sign that you're gonna lose too. Not always, but pretty damn good.
Give it up.
Now the dark side Grey Wolves should probably change their name to the bright side Swifties. He needed Taylor Swift to show up to the stadium herself and get the Chiefs back online. He had Mahomes dropping 30, Travis Kelce with the 19 bomb, and even the Chiefs defense showed up, dropping 16 as well. Joe Mixon, Josh Kelly, not really doing much for you. Didn't matter though, cause Mr. Raheem showed the fuck up. Over 140 scrimmage yards and 4 touchdowns equals thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, come again.
And his kicker even got 15. Look at him go. What an inspired team. They did not want to end up like Tumbles being 0-3. Good job, Grey Wolf, for knocking off the #1 seed. Well done. And then the closest game of the week was this 10-point win that the Deadly Venoms had over Simply Slats. Most of the Deadly Venoms points came out of Lamar Jackson and Devontae Adams' corner, with the Dolphins defense being the only other one to score over 10.
Wow.
Slats' team was a little more well-rounded, but where they failed hard. Josh Jacobs just breaking double digits is not great. Ramondre Stevenson is going to have these really shitty games for you, so that's the rub with a guy like him. Hunter Henry did nothing, but Allen was fine. Diggs was pretty good. Olave was pretty good. Your kicker, 12 points, respectable. And the Niners D was okay with 11. You probably want more out of your D. A lot of okay, but not enough.
Wow.
Great job for everyone that won last week. Nobody cares about last week. Let's talk about right now. Next up, we have the 0-3 motherfucking Tumbles, trying to get his first win, facing the Haas Style.
Nope.
Now, usually when a team has just faced Polk High, they go on to win. Hostile seems to have started Thursday night with his bullshit waiver wire pickup tight end dropping 9 points. I'd be okay with that. Now, if my starting running back scored 9 like motherfucking Tumbles and Jamar Gibbs, I would be pretty upset. Montgomery obviously took over that game. They let him run all over the place. It looks like you might be heading to 0-4 with this bad start. I don't really like Garrett Wilson, but playing the Chiefs, you know they're probably going to have to catch up, so at least they'll throw it a lot. Mike Evans, New Orleans is a pretty good defense, so I don't know. That might be a rough one. And I'm just not behind Russell Wilson, so I don't think that you're in a really great spot to take this win away from Hostile, especially since he just got the win over the Polk High Panthers.
You're going down!
You basically need Jalen Hurts to fail, Eckler to fail, Etienne to fail. Hostile's team is very hot. He's probably playing more running backs than any team has ever played in our league this week, and they're all trying to run you over, Tumbles. I'm gonna have to take the safe money here, and I'm gonna side with Hossa as well. I think he gets the win, and I think Tumbles falls to 0-4.
Disappointed!
Here we have the battle of two over 500 teams, the 2-1 Deadly Venoms taking on the 2-1 South Park Cows. South Park Cows have won 2 in a row in big time fashion, and the Thursday night matchup did not help Deadly Venoms at all.
It's not too good, is it, Chief?
He threw Aaron Jones in there thinking they were going to play him a lot, and that cat did not do very much at all. 2 points is not really good. But as we saw last week, most of Jerry's points are going to come out of Devontae Adams and Lamar Jackson anyways. The rest of his team is just for icing on the cake. South Park Cows bringing Joe Burrow back into the fold. You didn't have anyone play on Thursday, so nobody failed. I still really don't love James Cook, but he's been doing okay for you, so whatever. And we'll see if Amari Cooper still wants to play after having one good game. Obviously, because Aaron Jones already laid a dud for you, Jerry, I'm gonna have to side with Dave and the South Park Cows instead.
And people say you're bad at your job.
Next up, the Giant Slayer Dark Side Gray Wolf is at it again, trying to take on the number 1 seed, the 3-0 Seminoles. This could be an epic matchup for the ages. We've got 2 of the better stacks in the league going after each other. The only question I have is, will Taylor Swift be at the Kansas City Chiefs game? Seems to be that is the magic that Darkside Grey Wolf need. We know Justin Herbert is going to throw the ball at Keenan Allen all day. He gets paid to throw it at Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen gets paid to catch it. They're playing the Raiders, okay? He definitely needs Derrick Henry to get back on track, but the rest of his team should be fine. For the Grey Wolves, again, we need Taylor Swift in the building. Mahomes and Kelsey definitely look like they're vibing again. Mixon and the Bengals are just really trash right now. I assume that they'll figure it out eventually. Javonte Williams is a decent little ad too, so we'll see. We'll see how you do, man. But I think the same thing I said for the Knowles last week. It'll come down to whoever's stack up is better. And for me, I don't know. I don't know who to say for this one. I think I'm going to have to lean with the Knowles as well. I think if Derrick Henry has any kind of a game, the Knowles are going to get a big score. And I don't want the Darkside Grey Wolves to get a big head and think they can go around beating up all of the number 1 seeds.
Gonna rock, then we gonna fall, then we let it pop, don't let it go. Let's go, give it to you, he gon' give.
Next up, we have 2 teams coming off of losses. The 1-2 Simply Slats going after the 2-1 Super Duper Wacky Razzle. I think the Wacky Razzle are going to be very angry this week. It should be really interesting because we have another double stack situation with Wacky Razzles having a Tua Tyreek Hill stack and Simply Slats having the Josh Allen Stephon Diggs stack.
Great story. Compelling and rich.
I don't know if they're going to be tired from dropping 70 points on Denver last week, or if that could just affect them, making them think that they're much better than they actually are. Denver is a pile of hot garbage. Don't forget about that. It'll be interesting to watch the game because both of them are playing each other. Miami, Buffalo. So whoever does better on the field is going to be the one that does better on the fantasy field as well for that particular game. It should be interesting, and it would be fun to have you guys just sit in a room and watch that game together.
Sorry, buddy.
I think both teams had some fails from last week. For Slats, Josh Jacobs needs to do better. Hunter Henry needs to do better. I mean, whatever. Your tight end position needs to do better. Wacky Razzles, CeeDee Lamb didn't show up for you. I mean, if he shows up, great. Playing both of those guys at the same time is a little rough because they're probably not both getting touchdowns in the same game. And you definitely needed a better game from Devonta Smith. Honestly, I think that Wacky Razzles is going to get pretty pissed off this week. That team does not like to lose. I expect a smackdown, an old school beat down. I think that the poor Simply Slats is just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he's going to get a bad concussion this week. And I hope I'm wrong. For Slats, I hope I'm wrong.
I may not always be right, but I'm never wrong.
And then finally, the game of the week, my Polk High Panthers taking on the Austin, Texas G-Dog Warriors, both of us off of losses from last week. It's obvious the Polk High Panthers did make a decision at quarterback, and it was not a good one for Justin Fields. That's right, I started Jordan Love, and he did play last night. He had 0 points at halftime, so him having 19 is kind of a blessing.
I want to thank Jesus.
Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't really needed at all. They beat the holy crap out of them. David Montgomery ran all around on these guys yesterday. But the G-Dog Warriors didn't have anyone playing yet. He's got the Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley stack. I've been notoriously beaten down by Jacksonville stacks. McCaffrey and Swift are probably going to have pretty good games. I'm sure Hawkinson's probably going to drop 20 on me as well. And if your kicker puts up more than 18 points, I think I'm going to have to give you the win just right away. For my side, I'm definitely going to need somebody to show up. We're putting Zach Moss in there. He's had some great games. Hopefully he can continue his dominance. I'm playing Pittman as well, just because he gets so many targets. I think it's dumb to not play this guy. His floor is extremely high.
He doesn't look too good.
I need Bijan Robinson to show up and have a big game. If Trevor Lawrence has a bad game, that means that Atlanta's running the ball. So that is my game plan for this week and for me getting a win. Basically, my start was they hit their projections. So I'm okay with that. But I'm definitely going to need some more help from the other guys to make sure that I beat the G-Dog Warriors. It always scares the heck out of me when I know I have to play Christian McCaffrey this week.
What do you think of this?
Well, there you go, guys, your Week 4 matchup reviews. Good luck to everyone out there this week, except for the G-Dog Warriors, of course. Don't forget to set your lineup. Stop playing people that are out of the game. 2 minutes before kickoff, just look at the damn app. Make sure. Unless you're playing me, then leave all the hurt people in. That's fine. Thank you guys for watching, and here is your inspirational message of the week.
When I pick those footballs out, I don't want anyone touching the balls after that. I don't want anyone rubbing them. I would zip those things up and lock them away until I got out on the field and had the opportunity to play with them. To me, those balls are perfect, and breaking the balls in and getting comfortable with them. I choose the balls that I want. I go in there and I choose, however many balls are necessary. When I felt them, they were perfect.